Joining us live in studio, Javu Baloyi. He is the spokesperson for the Commission for Gender Equality. Siyabulela Gentile is Chief Executive Officer and co-founder of #NotInMyName_SA. And you at home, you're most welcome to give us a ring 011-542-2186 or join us on social media. Good evening to you, gentlemen, and thanks so much for joining us. Just, Mr. Baloyi, in terms of the Commission for Gender Equality and how we approach gender-based violence, especially as the scourge continues, is there a different approach or maybe a strategy that needs to be implemented to deal with this matter? Because it's perpetual and there's the rhetoric around it as well.
Thanks for having us, and happy Women's Day to all women across the globe. We believe there's supposed to be a shift in the way in which we have been doing things. We need to bring our A game. And our A game, what we have set down as a commission, we have realized that oftentimes some of these people who commit these atrocities, they go to church, some of them because they hide behind the cultural practices. And we brought together those kind of people so that we can help change the mindset. But there's a lot of rhetorics insofar as this issue is concerned. You know, we'll dance, smile, celebrate, sing today, but tomorrow everyone goes home. How many people from who were in Northern Cape today, and how many people were in Pichora and throughout the country that are going to be beaten? And what are we going to do about it? Because most of the things that we do in South Africa, we talk. The implementation thereof to show that, you know, our systems are working and whatever we're doing is working. It's not there.
I mean, how do you even explain law enforcement 48 hours later when there has been visual and audio evidence of the assault by Deputy Minister of Higher Education, Mduduzi Manana, to the victim, and no arrest has been made? Mr. Gentile.
It's saddening, really. It's very sad, and it goes to show the depth at which our justice system has deteriorated on. It shows negligence, especially from the law enforcement facilities. There's a video clip, and there are people who are willing to testify that indeed that was the deputy minister, and he also issued an apology, which I personally believe was insincere. From that apology, it can clearly be noted that it's an admission of guilt, as well as the recording where he confessed. So there's no need, in fact, there's no reason that 48 hours later he's still roaming the streets. I was actually sad to see him voting yesterday in Parliament, because this is the man who's supposed to be in jail. But it's how things are in South Africa, you know. The powerful always get away with these things. And I'd like to state that the President of the Republic, in fact, must fire that guy with an immediate effect. But of course, he stays in a glass house, so we can't trust him with such a task.
You're saying that politicians are generally compromised, and therefore it's difficult to take action in a matter such as this one. Is there preferential treatment, or is this an indictment on how South Africa deals with the most vulnerable?
It is an indictment to us as a country, as people of this country, to the police. Like we said the day before yesterday, that, you know, if it was an ordinary citizen out there, something would have given way. This is an opportune time or moment for the ruling party, for government to have made good on the promise that, and the rhetorics that they're making time and again, that, you know, people can be dealt with. And also, it was also incumbent upon Manana himself to have gone to the police and hand himself over, because he's admitted guilt, he has apologized, he said he has slapped the lady, though he didn't expand to the fact that, you know, even put his foot on top of the lady. What we were calling on upon the Gender Commission is that it's on our statement, we said suspicion. However, we amended that. We're calling for dismissal. Though we will also be investigating to ensure that, you know, what the police are doing, it's very wrong. Manana shouldn't be voting even yesterday. Should have been in jail already like a normal person who has committed some. That goes to show there's a decay in our systematic issues in the justice system. That's why the commission has been talking that, you know, today you're arrested, tomorrow you're out by the street, you threaten by the same people, you issue a half-hearted apologies, and nothing happens.
Yeah, and I mean, organizations like yourself, Mr. Gentile, #NotInMyName_SA, when you look at the patriarchy that we still have to deal with, and the misogyny that of disregard, violation of women, disrespect, and even the names that women are leveled at, the taxi rapes, etc. I mean, how it's very difficult to just find an approach that will work effectively. But what kind of impact does this now make towards the course that you're trying to drive?
It has had a negative impact in a way because after the mass demonstrations that we have been engaging as Not In My Name SA, we've received enormous messages, especially from women who say, you know what, we are giving us hope that indeed there is a light at the end of the tunnel. But now when you get people like the Deputy Minister doing such acts and it gives us as men in general, because I always say that we are Manana, Tutuzi Manana, and he is us, and whatever that he does, it paints all of us men as bad people. So yes, it has a negative effect, but at the same time, it goes to strengthen the call to say all men and women, by the way, should stand up against gender-based violence and patriarchy in general.
Do you agree with that this is a microcosm of the extension of the societal ills that we're facing, and being ill-equipped to deal with and make examples, especially of those in high office?
Today I was at the march, and people were asking, they had us talking to various media houses. They've been asking, you are talking, what are you doing about this issue? It's putting a big spanner, Cindy, in our work as a commission for. How do we then go to rural areas and say to someone, when you beat a woman, you'll be arrested? They said, what is it that you have done to Manana? Did you make sure that if you march and arrest him and do citizen arrest as a commission for gender equality? So even the police, what they're doing now, they're also affecting our work very badly. Hence the other day I say that, it's a microcosm of how society is, that, that those that, seems to be untouchable, those who have got money. There's got Joseph, when Joseph does something in somewhere else, they can even dispatch 8 police vans, like I've said before, and go and arrest Joseph because they think that he's heavily armed, he's dangerous, he's a criminal. Meanwhile, he has done the same thing that Manana has done. So what Manana has done is also goes to show that, we have normalized violence, that, violence, as the minister has said, he should have made good on his promise to say, gender-based violence is a priority crime, more especially during the Women's Month, as a gesture and as a token of the hardship that women go through day in and day out, and girl child go through, and the boy child who is being molested. He should have said, Manana, you are going in prison. Formal proceedings of the bails and other things will apply to you just like a normal citizen. Because of your position, you don't have to. Because what message is sending? Cindy, this thing is drawing us back maybe 5 or 10 years back on the progress that we have made as a Commission for Gender and other like-minded institutions. So if Manana is not arrested, another thing, we don't understand the word imminent. Because we're told yesterday, imminently, it's imminent, this arrest is imminent. What is imminent to them and imminent to us? It's not the same, maybe. So what it should have happened, Manana was supposed to be in jail.
All right, let's take callers. Thanks so much, Stu, calling us from eThekwini. Joy, we see you in Klerksdorp. Good evening, Stu, welcome.
Yes, how are you?
I'm good, how are you?
I'm fine, thanks. And I like to say good evening. All the people are praising in front of us. So all my concern, I'm so disappointed about Manana on that search of during this month of the women. But the person who lead the country as a minister who do the such things, especially on the women. But the question I have on the people right now, to give me the guide, why Fikile Mbalula is go to the media and talk about Manana, because Manana actually he has a home. It must be a policeman to go to arrest Manana, because on us we having that negative side to say if we have money in South Africa we can't get arrested because Manana
is still a free man. Yes, Juicy Abonga Kulu Putwami calling us from eThekwini. Joy in Klerksdorp. Good evening to you.
Evening, Cindy, and how are you?
I'm good. How are you? Happy Women's Day. If there's anything, to be happy about, considering the topic,
True. Yeah, you know what, Cindy? It's patriarchy, and again, I think these powerful men, he will never be arrested. I mean, I'm a victim of such, because even these guys, they'll never maintain their own children. They don't go to magistrate courts. Even they are called, they never go there because they are so powerful that they can't be approached. I sent an email the last time, I think the last time to say I'm experiencing the same situation. To say these guys are never arrested. About Cindy and give away Holingate, the court of Yabataba. Because they are above the law themselves.
Yeah, but we need joy, and I hear you, and thanks so much for sharing your painful experience. But I think community activism is required, that the March of 1956 is not forgotten, what those ladies had to face adversity themselves, that you and I must continue to fight to protect our daughters and our children.
Definitely.
All right, Osirale Bokhatatane, we hope you find strength and healing in sharing your story. And breaking news just in, a Deputy Minister of Higher Education and Training, Minister Mduduzi Manana, will appear in court this week. This was confirmed by Police Minister Fikile Mbalula. Manana is accused of allegedly assaulting a woman at Cubana nightclub in Fourways, Johannesburg. Balula says Manana is well known. He did not consider himself to be a flight risk, and he says the Deputy Minister does not cooperate with the police will find him. So this is news just in, confirmed by Minister of Police Fikile Mbalula, saying that Deputy Minister of Higher Education and Training Mduduzi Manana will appear in court, and that Manana is not a flight risk. The incident, of course, happened in Fourways at Cubana over the weekend, and Manana is well known and he should not pose as a flight risk. But Mbalula says if the Deputy Minister himself does not cooperate with police, they will find him.
Manana, the Deputy Minister, is not an unknown person in society. He's well known, and he cannot run away. And it is up to him whether he cooperates with the police or he doesn't. If he doesn't, we will find him. But in this particular matter, he's been notified, and the matters before end of the week, by tomorrow, he will actually face the law to account for the sequence of the events that happened on that day. So there's no point. The law is the law, and the law is equal before all of us. It doesn't matter the jacket, the suit you wear, blue, yellow, or what, the position you occupy will follow you up. With regard to Deputy Minister Manana, his case has been followed up, and there's nobody who's above the law, and it is all systems go. And I can confirm right now that he has been notified to appear in court and follow all the due processes, because he's got a case to answer, and he will have to appear in court, because it's not an unknown suspect in this particular matter. But we don't want to undermine the rule of law by undermining the aspects that need to be followed in the alleged matter.
All right, and joining us in studio, Javu Baloyi, he is spokesperson for the Commission for Gender Equality, and Siabulela Gentile, Chief Executive Officer and co-founder of Not In My Name SA. Your reaction to the Minister's announcement, I guess?
It gives hope to a certain extent, but I'm asking myself questions now. What does he mean by the minister accounting? What is it, the accountability that is talking of? What is it exactly? Because, as I said earlier, the evidence is there, the confession is there, the apology is there, which is the admission of guilt. This guy by now should have been arrested, but now he's coming here and telling us that he will appear in court and account. So for me, in fact, it's been 48 hours. This matter should have been dealt with and closed by now.
Mr. Baloni?
Cindy, it is very, very concerning that the minister will say Manana is not an unknown person, it's not a flight risk. Manana, to start with, this is the wrong procedure. Even if they apply, they throw the book at Manana. Manana was supposed to be arrested and go there. It's not about how many people, those that the police that do not know them, we do know them. Those that they might have done something. So are they going to be given the same gesture that to appear instead of being arrested? He was supposed to be shamed. He was supposed to be put in the police at the back of the police van, like any common criminal.
And if it's procedurally incorrect in
It
how they
is.
approach it, it means that technically he could get off in court
Yeah,
by
on
arguing that he
technicality.
was unfairly treated.
He was unfairly treated. This case was there. The minister was talking about the case, and then we find that loopholes are being created. The more they're talking about the case about themselves, that it must about the alleged everything, the sequence of events, how did it happen? So on technicalities, you can get scot-free that this is not how I did it happen, and already you have made the pronouncement on the case. Hence, the other day I said the right people were supposed to have spoken on this case, that, a suspect called Manana, not even by his title of the deputy minister, Mr. Manana, residing somewhere. We have sent a warrant for his arrest to come and appear following the launch of the case by a complainant. That's how it's supposed to work. So in this case, it's working in the vice of it. Just goes to show that, justice is not for all of us. It's for certain specific people.
All right, let's take a call. Simpoloke in Northwest. Good evening to you.
Yes, Cindy, how are you?
I'm fine. How are you?
Fine. Cindy, look here. When the matter started to happen, or the incident started to happen, those who were taking the features there, they did not took it before it happened. Manana might be provoked or might be the one who provoked the lady, and then the fight started there. We cannot.
So you're saying that the blame should also be on the victim in this case, Mpoloke, if I'm understanding you. How?
Both, yes.
No. I beg to disagree. It cannot be justified that somebody who's probably twice your size or even stronger physically attacks a woman based on what she had said to him. You need to be emotionally mature enough to be able to stand up as a man, walk away. There's all sorts of things that you can do.
Exactly. In fact,
yes, I do understand, Cindy. The problem, Cindy...
We're listening very briefly.
Yes, the problem is that when going to arrest Manana, as a police officer, you are going to have a problem going there to arrest. You are going to be left in trouble as a police officer going to arrest Manana for this matter.
Based on his status.
Because you need to have ground of justification and ground of improbability arresting a person.
All right.
At the end of the day, you might be sued for false arrest.
Can we come in here? This guy it's I'm not saying he's naive. He's ill-informed. A case has been opened by the victim who has been beaten. We know her name now is Mandi Saduma. So that is the ground for arrest. It doesn't need a rocket scientist. She alleges that it's Deputy Minister Manana who has beaten her. And Deputy Minister Manana has acknowledged for beating her. Where's supposed to be the difference there for taking him and tomorrow you are sued for this and that?
Yeah, preferential treatment, it seems, because of his position.
So this guy is trying to put something, and it's men like him. Today was not even have to phone in here and at AN7. It's men like him which perpetuate gender-based violence in society. You cannot, Cindy, as a man like him, I pity his family and his relative and next to kin, that you will sit in the family and justify everything that has happened. No matter how much of provocation it is, you walk away. Be a bigger man. That's what we need men to do. Bigger men, walk away. Vulnerable woman, vulnerable child, you walk away. You address things when you are calm.
Yeah, the problem is also over-analyzing that what could have, should have, and how the victim in this case, or Mandisa, could have or should have behaved as a woman, whatever it is. But it doesn't justify any physical violence or expression of violence on anybody.
In fact, no amount of provocation warrants victimization through assault. No one has got a right to physically engage the other. So what the caller just said now, it's actually disappointing coming from a man, considering the fact that we are in a very dark times in the country with regards to gender-based violence and femicide. And to have people talking like this, he's obviously perpetuating violence against women. One other thing I wanted to add quickly was that we are not only dealing with a perpetrator of gender-based violence here, but also a homophobic person. Because I read somewhere that one of the reasons, if not the main reason, that he assaulted the lady is that the lady called him gay. So it goes to show that the minister regards the term gay as derogatory, as a statement that is an insult to the next person. And to have someone like that as our leader is a problem. So this guy, in fact, should have resigned or be forced to resign with an immediate effect, and he must go straight to jail.
Clearly, he's not going to fall on his sword voluntarily. Some action would have to be taken. The department distanced themselves from it, and it doesn't show any intent on taking action.
No, the department itself, remember, they don't hire the deputy minister. It's the office of the president and this ANC that has deployed him. So between the two of them and the societal pressure that has to be exerted, and what the Commission for Gender Equality and other institutions are doing, is that will make sure that, the presidency and the ANC deployment committee realize that, what is happening, it's supposed to be. And I'm glad what the president have said today at the Women's Day thing, that it's, he might not have said it directly, but it's pointing to those that, are somewhere, even the law enforcers, to do something and act very fast, regardless of the position of Manana. The president was very clear on that. And that's what we appreciate as a commission, because the president issued a statement through his office, and it was very clear today. So where it is delaying because of men like him saying Manana will sue people, will do this, no, it can't happen. Let him face the march of the law. We are on this field as a gender activist to ensure that our society is free from people like him. I wouldn't want to comment on the homophobic and the gay part, but what we want is justice to be served.
And a healthier and more safer environment for women. But indeed, thank you, gentlemen. Javu Baloyi, a spokesperson for the Commission for Gender Equality. Siyabulela Gentile is a CEO and co-founder of Not In My Name SA. Thanks so much for joining us, and especially Mbogodo Ujoy for sharing your painful experience with us. We'll take a quick ad break. We'll see you shortly.